Can these airsoft influencers truly be trusted?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Port City Airsoft. Today we are looking at some products from airsoft YouTubers just to determine whether or not they're worth it.
And, we're also going to be talking a little bit about making better airsoft purchases and just how to avoid garbage buys. You know what I'm saying?
Garbage, real just stinkers.
How can you filter whether or not a product is a good choice for you?
Yeah. So we got I think 3 products here that we're just going to talk about just from different airsoft YouTubers.
I got them.
Hey, listen.
Don't worry, I got them.
You got them?
Dude, I got the links saved.
We just have, man. We've talked numerous times about Novritsch and how we feel about his products. There's a few other guys like Swamp Sniper from Ballahack Airsoft. They have just announced we didn't see it on the website, but they have it on their Instagram.
This isn't yummy to me.
No?
The way that not the rig, the way that it's like showing up just looks weird to me.
You passed the...
I did?
Yeah, go up right there.
Right here. Okay. Like when I do this,
that looks good.
Like full screen?
Okay. Yeah, that was
My
weird.
bad, guys. I don't know how to use Instagram on the computer.
So they announced the Swamp Rig. It looks like it's just a chest rig that is just a chest rig. It's a chest rig of Chris's design, I guess. And
it says the Ballahack staff. So,
conceptualized by the Ballahack staff. So I imagine it was a team effort, obviously. Yeah. It probably wasn't just Chris.
Listen. Everyone knows that Chris, Novritsch, all those guys, as they become a company, it's not just them, right? It's still just Novritsch. And shout out to the people working for them, but
Georgie.
It's hard to
Yosef
get past the idea that it's just them. Because it was them for so long.
Yeah.
We grew up with the Ballahack Airsoft staff.
So I'll just read this. We've been teasing this for a while, but are now ready to share something we've been working on, introducing the Swamp Rig. Swamp Rig is a tactical chest rig conceptualized by Ballahack Airsoft staff, taking inspiration from classic rigs such as the British Northern Ireland rig and the SADF M83 chest rig, but with a suite of modern upgrades. The philosophy behind the Swamp Rig is that all essential equipment, primary magazines, water, ammo, extra batteries, snacks, handgun magazines, smoke grenades, etc., it can all be placed at chest level so that any airsoft participant can freely navigate through swampy or wet terrain without damaging any of their equipment by having it at waist level. So this is a Swiss Army knife of a chest rig that you can put all of it in there, right? I imagine it's a thing where it's the point of it is have all of the stuff that you need. Right. You've got your pistol and all the mags. You've got your grenades. You've got your primary ammo. And all you have to do when you show up to the field is throw this thing over your neck, buckle it in, grab your blaster, and you're good to go.
I'll tell you this. Looking at it right now, the one thing that's really appealing to me, look how the cutout, the face of the pouch is half the height of the actual seam. That's very different than most chest rigs you see.
Yes.
And this Velcro is extended both on this portion and on the flap, which makes it truly adjustable. Because we've seen where you try to get something and when you fold it over,
it doesn't reach.
It's too big or it's too little or like it can't fold far enough down. And it's even very similar over here where this whole face is Velcro. So you can really, even like on the side pouches, fit. I don't have one in person, but I believe that you could fit all of that stuff in there easily.
It's a good, I see a hand.
There's a pistol right there.
I see a pistol. I see a radio. I see
that
magazines.
Behind the pouch.
That radio is too.
Pouch.
That radio is too.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there
I
must
see
be
it.
additional storage behind.
I definitely see it. Okay, so in the actual cummerbund of the thing is a
look,
radio
right
pouch and a pistol pouch, and then on the outside, yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So
So
cool.
you're reaching up here for your pistol.
But if you truly are going into the swamp, you're going to have to, right? Because you don't want it down here.
Yeah. But I imagine that sits
from right here.
That probably sits lower on your chest than this does.
What I would do is I would probably reverse it. So I'd have mine for cross. You see what I'm saying? Cross draw.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. It's going to be unorthodox. I mean, anything that you're not drawing from, even drop leg holsters feel weird because you're not drawing from your hip. Something about drawing from your hip just feels so much better. So
yeah.
But I think it's a good. I mean, I think it's a good
It
rig.
looks like a good rig.
I think the question is just, is it worth? If you're new, is it worth picking up a swamp rig
as opposed to any of the other?
If you already have something else, is it worth swapping over?
So, and that's the thing, right? Is it practical or is it just strictly for the looks? Is it for the aesthetic of the thing, right? That chest rig in particular, it's a weird in between of practical and aesthetic, because the chest rig in general is its own kind of look. It's a very particular style kit that you're going for. But it is very practical in the sense of it's designed with a specific intent in mind. It's to keep it's to hold everything that you need for a game
of Airsoft, yeah.
And it's holding it at a position that's keeping it out of the water if you're in a swampy environment, hence the swamp rig. So it has its practical side, and then it also has its aesthetic side. For me, if I was in a situation where I have a chest rig and I'm looking at this rig, either I'm looking at buying this rig from I want to support this content creator, one of my favorite YouTubers, someone who owns a field, is a part of the Airsoft community. I want to support them, so I'm going to buy this piece of equipment and I'll use it. And you know, I mean, that's one way to look at it. If I were in a position where I wanted a chest rig, it would be, I would just mostly be looking at my options, right? Because there are companies that are established Airsoft companies that make chest rigs, maybe not like this. So, you know, I would really just have to look and see if there's something about it in particular that I like it has the ability to mount a pistol and a radio in it and all that stuff.
That's the thing for me.
Is that something, is that worth it more than, you know, maybe a different chest rig has more primary ammo pouches and that's what I need.
Sure. I think at the end of the day, it is a niche usage.
Mm-hmm.
But is it though, even at the same time? Because a lot of people buy those Condor rigs, and I'd say that's 10 times better than the Condor rig.
Yeah. And again, I think it is what you need out of your piece of equipment.
I would say I would, depending on the price point, because like we said, we couldn't find it on the website. I want to say I heard it was around $80.
That's not bad.
I would recommend it. I would recommend it to a new player. I think it would be one of the top of my list, and here's why. You can run any mags with it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing you got to look at.
Anything with it. It is so versatile. So
I mean, it's a mix of both, right? If you're looking for something practical, it's that. If you're looking for something strictly aesthetic, it's that too.
Right.
So kind of,
I'd say overall, it's mostly practical. Right?
Mostly
the practical side of things, I'd say it's super practical.
Absolutely.
Aesthetically speaking, you are kind of limited.
Yeah.
You know, like it's that look.
That's what you kind of have to understand with aesthetic is
no, they do
for
offer
every
in
piece
multiple different camo patterns and colors.
but it's
But you're
again,
running
it's
a
just
chest rig.
it's what you have to consider when you're looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of getting into something more strictly aesthetic. Like something that's been way more prominent on the field is like tracer units and the even more than that, like the muzzle flash thing.
Like the Bifrost stuff with the
and
lightning
so
effects.
Now we've got Silo, who is
An
another
Airsoft influencer.
another German Austrian sniper YouTuber.
I actually don't know where Silas from.
I know that he plays at a lot of the same fields that Novritsch does.
Okay.
So to me, that would put him in the same area, but I don't know where he's from.
Shout out.
He has come out with the Dragon's Breath muzzle device, which is probably very popular. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this at this point.
Yeah. So it is crazy to me that this exists because people were taking this product already existed for Gelsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So people were taking Gelsoft, whatever, this, and putting them onto their airsoft blasters. Well, now we have an airsofter who goes, well, I can just make one of those, you know?
Yeah.
And it's right here. It says the Realism Enhancement Dragon's Breath muzzle device, or, dude, that's too much. DBMD. It's a muzzle flash generator with a small smoke machine hidden inside with 3 different smoke intensity settings. It works with airsoft AEGs, GBBs, rifles, and pistols. And it comes with the 2 refillable bottles, a battery, and a charger. It looks like they've already shipped the first 4 batches of these, and
Batch
honestly,
5 has already shipped at this point.
Yeah. It looks like all 5 of them have shipped. Pretty standard stuff here for not a tracer unit, because it's not.
It's not a tracer unit.
Not a tracer unit. It doesn't.
You see it there at the bottom. It says does not light up tracer BBs. So it is
a muzzle flash device.
Yeah, and it bursts out. So it's the muzzle flash. So it whenever you shoot, it registers that a BB passes through it, and it flashes a light that's supposed to replicate a muzzle flash. And then it also has the smoke machine, which lets out a small burst of smoke to replicate the gases that are released when a bullet is fired in a real steel.
And even with that, there's some stuff like real blasters aren't going to release it's not going to be like smoking like
you see it in the pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
that it's like
it's not.
Oh, it looks like a smoking cigar.
Now, is it cool?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's sick, dude. And it, honestly,
if you were to dump like 3 mags full auto through an M4, then yeah, it would smoke like that probably.
But the thing I love about this is that while it has all the standard features people look for from a muzzle device, they also add in the 2-inch room for extended inner barrel.
It's got a spring on the inside that pushes the unit to the front so that if you have an extended inner barrel, you can put this on and you've got 2 inches of space to cover the inner barrel before the actual unit starts.
Right.
So,
which is pretty cool.
It is very cool. That to us is just it is a piece of it's a piece of engineering in this that wasn't necessary, but he knew would be something that people looked at and would be a selling factor for people. So he made sure to put that in there.
It's a great example of an airsoft
by airsofters for airsofters.
Yeah.
Right. And
it's like Kids Bop, but
yeah,
with airsoft.
And that's the selling point for a lot of these guys, this is airsoft by airsofters. And so you can trust it a little bit more because these guys are out in the field playing the game. They know what they want and they know what works. So
we've got this little preview here.
It's very cool. It's a video.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Hey. Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hold on now.
What's going on here? Let's try that again.
Ooh. I've played
All right.
Counter-Strike. Sick.
Dude.
All right. Let's
dude. Okay, dude.
Just relax.
I'm gonna lose it. If
I'm
something does
itching
some
my
dumb
emmet.
stuff twice.
Cool.
Cool.
Very cool.
It looks pretty.
Looks
There
real
it is
nice.
On the pistol. On the
Gas blowback. I like that. Oh.
It's so fun. Like, it's so cool for it to do that.
And I mean, it's got 3 smoke settings, right? So I imagine there's a low setting.
Right. Yeah. You can turn it down. So, and the thing too is, because it takes standard fog fluid, like for a normal smoke machine, or standard, like, you know, basically normal smoke machine liquid, it is not going to use up very much liquid very quickly. So you buy like a gallon of it and it'll last you so long.
Yeah. And it really looks like the smoke is mostly it shoots out a small burst of it initially to kind of project the light that's flashed out a little bit further to make it look like that muzzle flash.
Like it is a true muzzle
the smoke
flash.
Coming off of it, I feel like is just a byproduct of it being
and that's
what
the
it
part
is.
That's like it doesn't smoke, like it's not the smoking gun, like that we, because of the use of gas operated recoil systems, the gas actually goes somewhere else.
Yeah, the gas that you're actually using when you're shooting gas blowback stuff is being used like a real thing would, for the most part.
So,
I know. Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. On a real steel, the gas feeds back.
Not even on gas blowback, though?
What do you mean?
That's real. That's how it works
real
with gas
steel is
blowback.
what I'm talking about.
Right, but isn't it the same? Anyway, whatever.
I mean, gas blowback is just taking gas from the mag and using it to propel the BB and kick the.
Oh, so it's doing the whole thing
in
the one.
Thing,
okay,
right? But it's still gas blowback. It's
right,
the
but
same concept.
For some reason, I felt like it used the gas
From
tubes
the
and
barrel?
everything.
I don't think so,
I don't
no.
think it does. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because the barrel's solid.
Yeah.
The inner barrel's one solid.
That's
piece.
true. See, now I'm thinking about it, dude. Once you
think about it. So, I mean, what do you think? For me, $150 is kind of a high price. Not that I wouldn't. Oh, that's not even 150. That's 150.
So what would that even be, dude? What's the
euros?
conversion rate? I know that the euro is a little bit.
The U.S. dollar's not looking too hot right
That's what I was about to say, dude. The euro is looking a little bit better.
So I don't know if that price point, and that's the thing, is it's the whole like practical versus aesthetic. It's not super practical.
It literally does nothing for your gameplay other than add a muzzle flash to the front of your blaster.
So at the end of the day, do I think it's going to perform well? I think it's going to do what it's intended to do. I think it's going to perform well.
Yeah.
Is the 150 plus price point worth the,
For me, at this stage in my airsoft career, no. I will say if I find myself at a point where I have my kit set up the way that I want it and I've got my blasters, like I have my, ideal setup for that, and I'm looking for a way to increase my like cool factor on my kit, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not something that would be a priority unless I was building a very specific kit, right? Like if I was building a kit for a movie, like if I was shooting a movie and I wanted that, I'd probably do that. If I was doing a little as far as like the Ballahack does the World Conflict series trailers and stuff.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty versatile because It wouldn't look bad on your G3.
Mm-mm.
It wouldn't look bad on your M4.
Mm-mm.
It wouldn't look bad on your pistol.
I'd say it would look a little bit out of place on the G3. Just because it's got that fluted, rifled look to it. It looks a bit too modern for the G3. But everything else,
It
the
would
AK...
go on your 1911.
Oh, it'd go on the 1911, it'd go on the M4,
Go on
and
the
it'd go on the
AK.
AK. Oh, it easy would go on the AK.
And it would look cool.
Actually, that inner barrel on the AK goes way... Like, it goes to about 2 inches to the end of the suppressor that's on there now.
Wow.
So I'd have to do some work to that.
Well, overall, I think it just, do you have the money and is it something you really want to look cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say overall, purely aesthetic.
Purely aesthetic. Yeah, now, as far as practical goes, fully practical, Novritsch has released something that is really cool.
Switching gears to completely practical, not aesthetic in any way.
Not aesthetic at all. I mean, aesthetic in the sense of like you could have this set up in your living room for when people come over and you'd be like, it's my Airsoft aesthetic.
Yeah.
I guess, but Novritsch has released a target that you shoot it and it falls down and then stands itself back up. It is also connected to a Bluetooth deal that connects to your phone and has an app that goes along with it.
Sounds to me.
You want to talk about that app because you know a little bit more about it.
So the app is okay. The app is developed by the Novritsch business. It's an in-house app. They made it. It's proprietary to this system, and I mean, $65 is what they're asking right now for one of these targets. Improve your shooting skills with our Bluetooth connected timer target. Discover 3 engaging game modes. Track your times and beat your limits. The free in-house developed app allows you to control the target and choose one of the 3 different game modes. And here it looks like these are the 3 modes.
Yeah.
IPSC test. Upon game activation, a buzzer signals the start, hits are recorded, and results are saved. So that's like your standard, like, draw on fire, see how fast it is. Your lap timer, hits accumulate until the user stops the game. Each recorded hit changes the target's light color. The target's light color? Huh. I didn't realize it lights up. And then target practice. Continuous shooting with the target automatically resetting to ready after 5 seconds. And it's
it just tells you what it's
The target popper is replaceable, available on iOS and Android.
Okay, so there is an LED.
Multicolored LED indicating the current status, standby, start, hit, etc. Beeping sounds, adjustable spring tension to accommodate mounting on uneven surfaces, and varying gun power levels. Built-in hibernate function to conserve battery. 2 holes in the base so that you can mount it. And then a 40-meter Bluetooth range. I can't imagine you'd be doing something further than 40 meters away.
What is 40 meters in? It's like
feet? Meters are roughly 3 feet, right?
Roughly. I think it's a little bit less, right? Or more? I think it's a little bit more than 3 feet.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I got the video right here.
It's farther than you realistically need.
Our special boy.
Dude, he's here. He's in his backyard.
Look at this.
This is like his house.
You can basically take whatever targets, there can be beer cans, pet bottles, you can time with a phone and you're good to go. It's just a great way.
So,
can I say that's the dream, is having an airsoft target range set up in my backyard.
Hey, I don't know how much of this is helpful for airsoft unless you're doing competition stuff. This does seem like a good training alternative. Don't have to spend money on live ammunition. Don't have to go to the range. You could do this daily in your backyard.
Yeah.
And then go to the range however frequently you can afford to go. Look at this. Watch. Dude, the target acquisition training that this would provide, is incredible. Finding that reticle, you know what I'm saying? Or
Oh,
like
yeah.
finding the
Dude, watch. He's tearing it up. He's tearing it up.
I mean, he's Novritsch.
Go, Chris, go.
He'd have to.
You got the SSP-5.
Wow.
Wow.
Alright.
Wasn't he military?
Yeah, he was like an actual sniper, and then he got out
And
started playing Airsoft and decided to go back. So shout out.
Shout out.
So
Yeah.
what do you think, man?
I mean, obviously very practical. Just like what you were saying, just for the sake of target acquisition, it's got the app so you can track your draw speed, your accuracy, you know, all that stuff, time between hits. You know, the big thing, I think the thing to keep in mind with all of this is you know, it's the whole airsoft by airsofters for airsofters, right? That can be very misleading, right? That someone who really doesn't kind of understand the industry is going to hear that and think that it's the best thing you can get, right?
Right.
And it might be, but what you have to understand is that these people are designing this equipment, and then it is getting made by usually some of the same manufacturers that are making everything else, right? Novritsch is a special case because his warehouses, if I'm not mistaken, he actually makes some of his own components from scratch.
I don't really know what all is outsourced and what is done by his company.
But I know that there's stuff that he does in-house and whatnot.
Like,
so
like his SSR4 or whatever it is. What's his M4?
SSR4, yeah.
I know that there's people who claim that it's made in the same facility as Lancer makes their Gen 3s.
Which
so
Mini Cooper and BMW are made in the same factory too.
Yeah.
So
So there's a lot of
the same obstacles that
normal companies
are
have
going
to
to run
overcome.
into. Yeah. It's going to be the same. Now, Novritsch's stuff, I've had stuff that's had issues out of the box, but his customer service is outstanding. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's a way that they get around it. But, you know, it's to think that I'm going to order this thing from Silo and it's going to make me play better, or it's going to make my blaster shoot better, or it's going to, you know, work perfectly and all this stuff. It very well may. You may get that Dragon's Breath and it works perfectly out of the box. You may get one and it may not. I've had stuff from major manufacturers that I've opened the box and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I've had stuff from Lancer show up needing to be
Absolutely.
replaced.
So it's stuff to keep in mind, right? They're not snake oil salesmen, but they're also not
just regular people.
Yeah, they're just regular people.
Right,
They're
trying to figure it out.
Right. So it's if you're looking to support your favorite content creator, if you want to support a small business owner, if you want to, you know, just have the thing so that when you go to the airsoft field, you can say that I bought the thing from the person. That's great. Do that if that's what you want and you have the money to do it. Just keep in mind that they're also people and they're going to run into the same challenges that a lot of other companies are going to run into.
So with that in mind, that doesn't necessarily always mean better or worse, right? It just means different.
Yeah.
There's some more intention, I think, maybe put behind it. How would you describe our process of like avoiding bad purchases, right? You see this product, you go, oh my gosh, I love this guy. He knows how to play Airsoft, so he's going to make this product. How would you determine what a good product is and what a bad product is?
I first start out with understanding what the product is, right? So we'll take the Dragon's Breath muzzle device, for instance. At first glance, you think it's a tracer. But then when you dive in and you read it, it's not a tracer. It's just the muzzle flash. And Silo has to do a good job of, making sure people understand that it's not a tracer unit. It's just the muzzle flash. But understanding that, it is just the light coming out of the front and the smoke. If I buy it and I'm expecting it to light up my BBs, it's not going to do that. The second thing I do is I ask myself, what does my kit need, right? Am I at a point in my kit where I can afford to start making aesthetic choices? Or do I need to keep buying? Do I need to replace this pouch? Do I need to upgrade this thing? Do I need to, is there somewhere else that my money could be spent better, right? Is there another piece of my kit that this 150 or no, it was 150 euros,
I think, yeah.
Whatever that translates to in dollars, is that going to be best spent on this muzzle device, or is it going to be better spent on a nicer plate carrier, a nicer, pair of shoes, some good ripstop pants, something like that, Yeah. So that's my 3 steps.
It sounds like it sounds like it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right. To have all these products and not know which one to buy. I really like the process you're talking about. I feel like we do that a lot of the time. As far as making the decision, you guys have to know for yourself what you need, what you want,
Mm-hmm.
do that research. And if you're new to Airsoft, or if you're just looking to get some good equipment on the cheap, we actually have a whole video where we talk about budget Airsoft loadouts, and we'll link that in the description. It's also probably up on the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to click through to that and watch that if you want to learn a little bit more. But I think most importantly,
Man, go play Airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Dude.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Oh!